Hello, my name is Brianna Drake, and today I will be talking about citations and references in writing. So, for the changes in citations, the process of citations wasn't always needed, as in the past there wasn't much open education, so it was assumed the reader already knew where the text began and where it was used from. This, of course, changed when public schools actually did come along. Now, citations aren't always used formally. It can also be used in magazines or TV, but just in different levels of formatting. But going into the more MLA format of writing, it has a very strict academic guideline to it. And in the article, Everything Changes or Why MLA Isn't Right, Walker states that different disciplines may use different arrangements from the elements of citation in order to facilitate communication of important information. This just means that with certain types of formatting could be with certain citations. For example, with a MLA format, you would probably write citations more heavily based on, let's say, more personal writing, while in APA format, the citations would be more based off of informational writing, more scientific, with more deeper research into it. Now I can get started on the topic of citations and references. The topic would be how to find correct referencing in citation formatting. To do this, you would first think about what the essay would be referencing within the topic so you can have a more deeper understanding when it comes to writing with it. For the definition of what a citation is, it's pretty much the proof of the reference. It is the facts that you can back off of when you are writing inside the essay. Now, actually, writing formats and references with citations is actually relatively easy. In the article, Finding the Right Spider-Man Introduction to Referencing in Citation Formats, Clark states that for both MLA and APA format, the author is the first identifier in the citation with the last name before the first. The key difference is that the APA format, there are parentheses for the date and version of the book. Let's say if it's like the third version of a scientific book, you would parenthesize that as long as with the date that it came out of. Where with the MLA format, the parentheses aren't needed, but you still need to add the date and the actual version of it. And for my last slide, we can get more into why these citations are important. The big question is, why do we even use citations at all? The big reason would be for plagiarism. Without citation, the author is using another writer's work without their permission, which is another form of fraud. And that is why providing proof that this is not your own writing but another person's writing and giving them credit is very important. In the article Citations Why, When, How, the author Kavana states that the final reason that we cite sources is so that our readers know where to go to find information about the topic. Pretty much they can go on Wikipedia, but it is not good for more deeper research, which is the important citation so that they can actually find more factual research given on by more people who are more nuanced and experienced in the topic. Now, when you use citations, it's mainly for summarizing facts to add more depth inside the essay. For example, you could be writing about, let's say, elephants, but giving more facts about the elephants from your research through the citation will give more depth to it in the paragraph. Now, how to write citations in the formats would be a little bit the same as writing anything else in writing. For example, when you're doing the citations inside the actual essay article, you would just add quotations to it, the author's last name and the date it was written. The same format goes into the references part with the citations. It would be the same way depending on MLA or APA format, just in more depth, including the title as well as the publisher's note inside of it to make sure that the reader has the proper factual information just in case they do want to go deeper in it, and also to prevent plagiarism so it can show the correct proof that where they got the information from is correct from that author. And that is all I had to say too much about that. Thank you so much for listening.